This is a game, folks.
Here is my life. This is my life. Cameras on me, yeah. Put the cameras on me, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally, after a long delay, coming from Koreatown, it's the Ozone with the Brothers Miller. This is Omar Miller, your host, and I'm here with my brother from the same mother, the Icons.
How you doing there? How you doing there, boy?
The man who got a shout out in the song, and I did not. Let's run it back. See that? You see what I mean? This is why I'm salty, folks. But let's get to business. It's been a while. Sorry about that. Man, my life has been going crazy. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and it's been requiring a lot of work and maintenance.
Turtle in a half shell.
Hero in a half shell.
Hero, I'm sorry, dude.
Turtle power. We got a new song.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's a new jam. I got to play it for you.
Is it hotter than the old one?
Ooh, I had to let the kids decide that.
Okay.
I'm not the right demographic.
Okay.
But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles dropping September 18th. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon, and the show you all love that allows me to live my fabulous life, Ballers, drops August 12th, folks. And it's been taking a lot out of me. But now I'm back. I'm in LA. I'm on the mic. I'm here with my brother who's sporting the Red Sox hat today. Let me guess. It's Mookie Betts.
All day, all
I'm going to pull out my Mike Trout jersey, and we're going to go at it.
Don't even get me started.
Ladies and germs, we got a lot to cover today. Last podcast, we had a wonderful champ in here, and his fight is almost coming up. Regis Rockaroo Pearl Gray was here out of New Orleans, and we didn't get to talk about baseball, so we got a lot to cover there. Serena Williams has something to say about her comeback to Wimbledon, and Wimbledon is underway. The World Cup is underway. I don't know much about the world's most popular sport, but I know that these World Cup matches are pretty exciting to watch.
Right? Mexico just got eliminated.
They gave it to Mexico.
No, but they weren't, they weren't picked to go this far.
No, they balled.
Yeah.
They said, that's what's so nice about the World Cup is that it's been an underdog tournament, and the big names mean absolutely nothing. The champs went home. Germany went home immediately. Didn't even make it out of the first round. At the
then
pool
they got
round.
Messi in there.
Gave it to Argentina.
With Messi.
Gave it to Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Gave it to everybody.
The pretty boy fest is over, huh?
Man, but the love is still there.
Love is love.
And he got to give it to his team. He gave it to Spain because Spain charged him with tax evasion fraud. and he put up I think either a hat trick or 2 goals on him. He gave it to him.
They would give him the money back. We wouldn't do that. Don't do that to us.
Man, right now Colombia is playing England. As a matter of fact, I need to see what the game what score is. Yo, is it? Mm-hmm. It's 0-0. Nope. Update. 1-0.
Wow.
England.
It literally just happened, huh?
Harry Kane gave it to him. And that's a surprise for me because I was just in London and I watched the game in an authentic English pub. Wow.
Did you have fish and chips?
No. I just had to get out of there. These people were going nuts.
We got rowdy, man.
Man, they like to get bloody drunk, yeah?
Yeah, the pugilist.
Hey, you wanted to get him up? Come on, boy. I was like, wait a minute, dude.
You from down south now?
Yeah, mate. South London, bro. No, but I had some of the best ramen I've ever had in my life.
Don't say that.
You guys should.
You did not the best. You told me it wasn't.
I said it's some of the best ramen I've ever had in my life.
You said the best.
It might be the best. How about that?
You play too much.
Get on the plane.
You play.
You don't
too
know.
much.
You haven't had it.
I'm going to get on the plane, but
you haven't had it.
Hey, I'm going to knock your tooth out.
Just one?
Just like that's all I want to do. That looks the worst. Just that one tooth.
It looks terrible. Snagga.
Snagga.
Maxi breathe and Snagga. Yeah. So and Sweden advance. Switzerland's out. England's trying to make noise. They're in the 64th minute. By the time you guys hear this, it'll all be said and done. But then we had the biggest news, arguably, of all time in sports.
All time?
Wow. I'm going over the top.
You did go
over the top.
Woo-hoo!
But we have, I would arguably say, the biggest acquisition in basketball history. Do you think there's something bigger than this?
With Shaq, Shaq, that was big.
It was not LeBron James.
Yeah.
It was not.
We weren't back in the day, but Wilt Chamberlain, when he came to the Lakers?
It's not as big.
We don't know.
It's not as, I do know because social media didn't connect the world in the way.
Okay.
When I got off the plane in Miami from London, they showed LeBron James landing on his private jet in L.A.
Yeah. Not
doing anything to do with basketball or anything. He just came
dapping everybody up. Love, oh man, what's up, man? Love.
There's nobody to dap up. He's in the private jet.
He was dapping people up.
Oh, he was dapping up the handful of people who work at the private airport. So what a guy.
Yeah, nice guy, man.
Anyways, so as you all know, LeBron James is coming to L.A. He's taking his talents to downtown Los Angeles, and the city can't wait for him. But in response, the Golden State Warriors made a mega move.
A mega.
A mega man move that's outrageous.
It's terrible.
And they got Boogie Cousins.
They got Boogie. Boogie won't be back until probably the middle of the year, but still, this is just so much. So now what are you going to do to counteract them getting Boogie?
Well, I think that you're vastly underestimating Brandon Ingram, for one.
No.
Brandon Ingram
not at all. But he's not a big man. They need a solid big man in there if you're going to bang with Boogie. Because if you're going to Boogie does,
and that's assuming that Boogie comes back as Boogie. I think this is a big factor.
But even so, if him standing in the middle, even when Shaq was old, if he just stood in the middle, he was a problem.
Yeah, but he's not the same kind of problem. He's not the all-star problem.
Boogie is an all-star. What are you talking about?
But here you go. You'd love to miss the point. This is your favorite thing in the world. I didn't
it's my
say
favorite?
Boogie
More than the ramen.
More than the ramen.
You're lying now. We got him, folks. Come on out.
It was not. I did not say that he's not an all-star. I said if he comes back as an all-star. But if he's hurt and he's just standing in the middle, then it's not all-star Boogie. Then it's
guess
just
what?
a big dude.
Boogie can shoot threes as well.
He can't do any of that with a busted Achilles.
But they won't let him. This is what I'm saying. He won't come back until he's ready. And that supposedly is in the middle of the season.
Next victim is blowing up my phone.
Yeah, because he wants to come in hot.
He wants to come in hot. Let's see what he's talking about.
What up, though?
Next victim. Let's do it for the tipper. You made a strong statement last night on Twitter that I saw, and I should quote you because I don't want to mess this one up. I felt like it was a very solid statement, but I have to say there's a lot of people that want to talk, and they want to talk to you, and they want to talk about this situation. Last night, Do It for the Tipper, at Do It for the Tipper, said, this is some straight USDA bullshit. Shut your mouth. You beat me. I'm not running with you ever. This is some new pickup ball, LA fitness, 24-hour fitness. You lose to me now, I'm going to go run with you. Too many followers, not enough leaders in the NBA. The NBA is a new video game. Strong statement.
I mean, it is a strong statement, but it's true because this is this new generation or era where these youngsters, it's easier to follow, which we all do on Instagram and Twitter and everything else. It's easier to be a follower than it is to be a leader. So don't jump on the bandwagon. I got to beat you. I got to bring you down.
I got to bring you down. I can't believe, for one, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
We can run it back 100 times, and I just feel, I can't believe you got the best of me.
As we have done a lot of times. I won't go to sleep. I got to miss work. I got to do whatever.
I have to ruin my relationship with my girl. I have to do it all.
It's all up for grabs.
It's all up for grabs.
As long as I get this dub.
I got to get this dub before I go to sleep.
Got to. I don't care if it's just one single game. You didn't beat me 99. But
I got that one.
One win. Hey, that's all I need.
That's all I need. All right, we got another caller. Before you out, because I want him to hear what you have to say as well. Hold on 1 second. Wow, the lines are hot, ladies and gentlemen. DC Sly has come in hot, and we're ready to go. Now, we're going to come out with a statement here from at Do It For The Tipper, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it. I read it before. I just wanted DC Sly, who's been blowing up the lines, ladies and gentlemen. This situation in the NBA has everybody all flustered. And he says, this is some straight-up USDA bullshit. Shut your mouth. You beat me. I'm not running with you ever. This is some new pickup ball, LA fitness, 24-hour fitness nonsense. You losing me. Now I'm going to go run with you. Too many followers, not enough leaders in the NBA. The NBA is a new video game. What are we talking about here, fellas? What have we seen?
A bunch of leaders, a bunch of followers that's just jumping on the bandwagon just to be that dominant team. And it's like, this shit ain't cool. It ain't cool. It's like, I want to beat the best. I don't want to. I want to beat the best to know that personally I am the best. I don't want to go join the best so I can, just ride that bandwagon. It's like, no, you do that. You're supposed to do that later on in your career when you getting 2 and 3 minutes a game, not in the prime of your career.
There's a lot that I agree with you, and we're all of the same age group, but there's a lot that you're giving away by just saying, basically, I can't beat somebody. I can't beat this group of guys. Kevin Durant did it and said, I can't beat this group of guys. The one thing that I'll absolve LeBron of is because people are saying LeBron started this when he went to Miami. There wasn't a team that LeBron said, I'm going to go because there's these guys I can't beat. You
know what? For myself, I would have to, fault the owners to a certain degree because, honestly, it's their fault for not managing the contract times, paying attention to when Dwayne Wade's contract is up, or Boogie's contract, and you can actually structure it around so that they couldn't put together these super teams like that. You know what I'm saying? Because what's happening is that the players are getting control because all of their contracts are ending at the same time.
So you don't want the players to have control.
I don't want the players to have control. I don't.
I know.
You can't be mad at the owners. The owners is trying to bring in the best products for the team and also for the organization.
No.
So you can't be mad at them.
No, well, let's say, what about the NBA? The NBA has to do something to control this because the players are now dictating the pace. Because you have too many teams.
The NBA's problem, not the owner's problem. You can't blame this on it's the NBA problem, and it's this weak ass NBA players problem.
But that's the system, man. First of all, I got to say, I think y'all are too hard on Durant for that, man. Because I watched, when Durant went to that team, it felt like he belonged there. When I watched him play, it seemed like he had been playing years with them. Like, they meshed immediately. There was no adjustment.
That's what happens when you're one of the best players in the world.
Exactly. Not only that, they're a jump shooting team, and he's a jump shooter.
And he could come to the park and look like he belonged with us. When you're one of the best players in the world, you look like you belong everywhere because you do. I got to disagree with you on that one, DC Sly. And also, if this is the biggest problem I have with Durant going there, is it was a direct can't beat him, join him. He literally was up 3-1 in the conference finals against them, and he choked.
No, he didn't.
In 3 straight games.
Russell Westbrook.
What is it? You sound like the Trump supporters. You want to bring in? You all of a sudden want to bring up Obama?
Don't ever.
Why do you Russell Westbrook?
Why do you got to bring in the hot Cheeto? Why do you compare me to the hot Cheeto? Too far.
I didn't just compare you to the hot Cheeto. I said you sound like the Trump supporters.
Well,
I didn't compare you to the hot Cheeto.
You brought
Once again, you missed the point. There you go. Again, like I said, it's his favorite thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. He purposely wants to miss the point. My point is, if you go a collective 4 for 48 in the fourth quarters of the 3 elimination games, you choked. I don't care who else is on the team.
Hey, I'm just saying, he knew himself.
They damn sure would say LeBron choked if he went 4 for 48.
Oh, you better preach that truth.
They say that when he gets a triple-double, so what does it matter?
Anyways, DC Sly, why this dude is talking about Russell Westbrook, while he got Westbrook on the mind, what were you saying now? You think we go too hard on him, but then what? Excuse me.
I do. Well, I mean, hey, since we're talking Silicon Valley, if I'm a independent contractor chip designer for AMD and I decide, well, hey, we ain't better than Intel, I'm gonna go design chips for Intel. Is that a problem?
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm going to make them better because I'm gonna use my talents elsewhere.
Right,
First and foremost,
I need to get my act together.
First and foremost, to compare the computer chips and the physical discipline that it takes to become a high-level professional athlete is a different comparison.
I don't agree.
Okay, you don't have to agree, but I'm talking on a mic. You can say your piece in a second. But the point being is, when you have a chip dispute, you're not going against one person with the chip. This is a situation where you're saying, okay, I'm with AMD, Intel has the thing, won't, blah, blah, blah. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs had a beef. And they had a healthy competition. And you know what? The world is better because of it. Because the two of those dudes needed to beat each other. They were together. And then they said, you know what? Actually, Bill can't hold me. I have the iPhone on your ass. Now what? What you gonna do, Bill? Write some more Word and Office space? Fine, go do that. I'm gonna be cool. How about that? What we're saying now is Bill Gates says he can't beat Steve Jobs. And so then he goes and becomes a spare guy on the iPhone chart. Yeah, no, bro, that's not healthy competition, and ultimately it waters down the world. We're in a situation now where there's going to be 5 teams in the whole league that can compete with each other, and everybody else can kiss their grits.
This is what the NBA has to get control of because the players are dictating the pace. They all want to go play together. They're playing right now together in the summer leagues. You don't think they're having conversations? So when they do that, the NBA needs to have some kind of structure where these contracts with these big-time players aren't all ending at the same time so that they can actually filter or control somewhat of where these guys are going, because right now they're going wherever they want to and nobody can control it because the owners are greedy.
So this is interesting. I never thought I would hear you support owner control.
Yeah, well,
right.
I'm saying the NBA. I'm saying that
he sounds real nasty, but I'm trying to get a point. I want to ride with him and hear where he's going.
I'm saying maybe the NBA, not so much of the owners, because the owners are greedy. I agree with you, Tipper, because they're going to take whatever they can get. You know what I'm saying? But the NBA collectively has to do something to control this because how many teams are there in the league? They got enough teams in the league, but you have 5 good teams.
You have 5 teams.
So
and other than these 5 teams, honestly, 5 or 6 teams, you don't even need to watch the rest of these games.
Exactly. So it makes all the rest of the league worthless.
In
that, we need to do something to control that. We can't let LeBron or whoever it is.
Well,
dictate the pace.
what's funny about that? What used to be. Well, you sound like you just.
in the Western Conference, which is one of the toughest leagues right now. If LeBron wins in the Western Conference in the next 4 years, man, you better capitalize that G and go because he is the GOAT. If he
It'll be pretty impressive.
Let me tell you something. If he gets one more player added to this piece, that's a halfway, a little bit more than what they have now. He will win, even with Boogie out there, because he's already showed you if he can walk through the East like that every single year and go to the finals by himself, pretty much, he can win in the West. He's beaten the West before, and he's shown that he doesn't need a whole team to do that. He had Kyrie Irving. I mean, come on, man.
Well, that's not true. You're negating Kevin Love there.
Oh man. But
Kevin Love was dominant like he was this year.
Basketball, the 5 top 10. This a new NBA dream team.
Yep.
It's the NBA dream team. All these dream teams that's popping up, and I can't stand it. I want to see the best competition every night. And these dudes, to get back on the track of things, these dudes that's following to Boogie Cousins, great player, but he nasty for going to that team. Is he going to make them better? Probably the second half of the season, because the way that Golden State is going to fit with the torn Achilles, he's not going to be full strength in the first half of the season.
Right.
So second half is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. But to be rented for 1 year, come on, man, that's nasty. If he could have went to San Antonio, and maybe that would have had Kawhi decide to stay there.
Yeah, but this is the problem, though. But this is the problem. Most of the NBA didn't want him. We just had a conversation, but most of the NBA did not want Boogie because of his attitude, because of the way that he's supposed to be a cancer in the locker room. We have no idea or if that's true or not, but this is what they say. So he had limited teams that actually wanted him. I'm tripping out because the Lakers didn't really pursue him like I felt that they should, because really what they're doing is putting together, like I told is the West Coast Cleveland Cavaliers. They're not putting pieces around him to win.
I can't.
They have young talent, but that talent's not developed yet. Now, if you can get because they're talking about trading away some of these guys, but if you're going to trade away, don't trade away and get another point guard. Trade away and get a big man, somebody like Derek Favors or something like that. You need something or a power forward that's dominant, because you have Lopez there, and they actually have this other kid. What is it? Zizic?
The kid that they just drafted? The big man?
No. They had another kid there that they had on the bench that didn't get a lot of burn.
Man, they got some decent big now with Lopez, and they got the kid from Michigan, Mo Wagner. Those two dudes are pop.
I'll tell you the truth. Honestly, in my opinion, they shouldn't have got rid of. They should have paid Julius Randle. Julius Randle is a big man that is the kind of big man that you need when you have guys who put up shots, because he doesn't need a lot of shots and he's still effective on the hustle. He's hustle man.
Yeah, but Julius Randle wanted to get out of there.
He got a motor. Yeah, he got a motor on. I like his work.
I like Julius
but
Randle's
he wanted
work.
to get out of there.
He did want to get out. I wonder why.
Who knows?
I wonder why. What makes you want to leave
Somebody
LA?
must have rubbed him the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think they choose between him and Kuzma, man. I think that was next.
I don't. But see, you're talking about the LA Lakers. They don't have to choose between anybody.
Yeah.
They can pay the luxury tax. They can do whatever it is that they need to do.
And they said that he asked to be released.
Yeah, they said he asked to go. So basically, either he didn't want to be on a super team, and he plays like the kind of guy that doesn't want to be on a super team. He plays like the kind of guy that wants to play with his crew and be like, nah, we can beat them. That's it. And I tell you what else. When you talk about the governor, basically, of what the NBA would have to do to create parity in the league, ultimately, that was the players. Right. So the NBA has to, just like how they had to rethink the All-Star game, just like they have to rethink the dunk contest, now they're going to have to rethink the playoffs, because ultimately what the NBA has counted on is the players saying, no. Michael Jordan had no interest in playing with Isaiah Thomas and Larry Bird at all. None. Guess who I'm running with? I'm running with Scotty. And me and Scotty got it. I promise you we got it. It's going to take us a little bit, but we got it. You know what I mean?
Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman went jump ship with them, and Dennis Rodman was one of the biggest culprits of making that monster.
I agree. And well, that's what I put up when somebody tweeted me at it and asked if LeBron this is basically his chickens coming home to roost. And I said, well, if you look at it, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Ron Harper, and Dennis Rodman is a mega team. That's a crazy team.
Well, the Houston Rockets had a crazy team,
but they didn't win.
Looking back on it,
No. That team you're talking about that won in Houston was with a bunch of rookies. Kenny Smith, Robert Horry, all those guys were young, and they had a couple.
Didn't they get two?
They got 2, and but that's what I'm saying. Those guys were young. They didn't go get those guys with the idea of. And this is the same thing I'll say about the Bulls. When Pippen came, when Harper came, it wasn't like it wasn't like how it was when Houston got Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen and
Seattle
Clyde
put together
Drexler.
a monster squad too, didn't it? And in Portland as well. When Michael Jordan left, Scottie Pippen went to Portland. They built a monster team over there.
They did. I mean, low key, that Laker team with Shaq and Kobe is a monster team.
They didn't know what they was going to get from Scottie Pippen as a draft pick, but now cats is just jumping along when they already monsters to join an even better team.
It speaks to the generational shift in society at large.
Yeah.
Because people in our generation and older, if you are 35 and older, chances are you can't stand the fact that Kevin Durant went and played for a team to beat him the year before.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 80-20, maybe even 90-10.
Well, what about Bron hitting Durant and asking Durant to come play with him in LA?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he hit Kevin Durant and asked him to come and play before he announced it.
I think that's hearsay, she say. I don't see that happening.
That's supposed to have been coming from a reliable source.
I mean,
Stephen A. Smith put it out.
I don't know, but I don't know. I can't speak on that because it didn't get confirmed.
I'm going to say this on a big picture standpoint. I think this is a step in seeing the NBA, they've been talking about pulling back on the amount of games. And I think it's kind of a step in the direction of being more of an NFL, like event-type game where you got less games, more super teams, and they retract the number of teams.
Wow.
And then each game becomes more of an event because you got these super teams. I kind of see that happening.
I could see that happening. I think it's a great point, DC Sly. And I also believe that since we're talking about it, the NBA has just usurped the NFL, in my opinion, as the most brilliantly marketed league in the world. Because just like how the NFL has the event thing, the NFL fell off. They've been taking a lot of L's with this, with the kneeling scandal and playing games with Cheeto and all this, that, and the other. But the NBA Finals just ended 2 weeks ago in the most anticlimactic fashion that they could have, in a sweep, in games that weren't close. It was one close game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that is a basketball fan wishes the league started tomorrow now because they have this tight window where all of these guys made these flurry of moves immediately. There was these guys, they had more time than this. They didn't have to make this decision right away. And they've all made these moves immediately. Now everything is in place. The downside is for the fans, in my opinion, is you have 5 teams that matter. And outside of that, you're going to now have teams like Milwaukee who have a guy like Giannis, Antetokounmpo,
he's not leaving,
who then in turn is going to have to recruit other people to play with him to even compete. Maybe not in the East, but he's going to need John Wall. He's going to need, Hassan Whiteside, who, by the way, I ran into this weekend in Miami, and I told him that I love this game and to keep punishing these little dudes, and because I heard him talk crazy about the
Lakers could get Hassan Whiteside.
I told you that last year. If the Lakers got Hassan Whiteside, I agree. I even meant last year. Honestly, you got a young center like Hassan Whiteside with a young stud like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Kuzma, you got problems.
Yeah.
That dude is a monster.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram's going to light it up this year, especially if you get him at the 2. You get him at the 2, Brandon Ingram's going to be able to run amok.
And if he comes in 10 pounds heavier, you got problems.
Put it on already. Lonzo's supposed to put some on.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't shoot. Ingram can't shoot. He can get to the rock. He can't shoot.
Yeah, but he's 20 years old. Can't nobody shoot when they're 20 years old.
Couldn't shoot when he came in the league.
Man,
LeBron couldn't shoot. It's the truth.
Why are you so mad at Brandon Ingram? Brandon Ingram's game is nice.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, victim.
LeBron
don't lie.
But as a 2, he is not a pure shooter.
You don't have to be a pure shooter.
Bron is 6'8", 280. Brandon Ingram is 6'8", 155.
And he's 20 years old.
And he's 20 years old.
Come on, man.
He's still growing. He grew faster, longer than he grew wide. And first and foremost, I'd like you to let the Warriors come out and play, because you are in the terror dome of echo chamber right now. I don't know what you do every time you come in, victim. You come in. Oh, boom, 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 boom.
Come in with that Luther Vandross there.
No, is that better?
Much better. There you go. You're good to go.
About time.
Now, DC Sly texted me something yesterday that was incredible, which was the Warriors starting 5 is greater than the Eastern Conference All-Star Game starting 5.
And they are.
And they are. That's why it's funny. That's why it's funny.
Exaggeration.
No, it's not.
Boogie averaged 25 and 10.
Columbia just scored and tied it up in extra time. 1-1. They may be going to a shootout. Somebody clutched up. Wow. Nice.
Yeah, but
Don't just say he should average 150 points this season.
Seriously, they could. So now you're looking at Golden State matters, the Lakers matter, the Rockets matter, the Celtics matter.
OKC?
And I don't think OKC matters at this point. And,
they got OKC. They got Paul George.
They got Paul George.
Good. That's what he get for going back there and playing with that.
And Philadelphia matters.
That squad.
Philadelphia matters, in my opinion, with or without Kawhi.
If
Philadelphia gets Kawhi Leonard, they can beat the West Coast teams who are going to have to beat each other up.
Yes. They can beat the West Coast.
Let me change that. I would put OKC over Houston because losing Trevor Ariza is big.
It is. It's bigger. It's bigger than people. It's bigger than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, but they weren't going to win anything anyway. Everybody always believes in the.
I'm with you.
And then at the end of I can't believe it. They shot all those threes and shot themselves out of the game. That's their game plan. They're not going to play defense. They're not going to do anything. They're going to give you a good show. And then at the end of the day, you're going to go home sad if you believe in the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, they do not bring salvation, brother.
They don't.
Right.
Well, all right, fellas. I appreciate the spirit. What do you got, DC Slide? Bring it in before we take it out.
I'm gonna have to go out on my limb for y'all. I don't know if anybody agree with me, but I think that pickup with Rondo is tremendous.
I said the same thing, and the icons are over here acting like it's no big deal. Rondo's a winner, and he's not a punk.
Yeah, but Rondo can't shoot. You want to talk about somebody can't shoot? Rondo can't shoot.
He doesn't need to shoot.
And we know
he's 20 dimes.
And but we know
he give you 20 dimes without somebody like LeBron James.
And what are they going to do with Lonzo? They're going to trade Lonzo now? And Rondo played with Boogie and them last year, and Drew Holiday went to the 2 and put up monster numbers. But Rondo is not where you need to go with this.
I think the Rondo is exactly. I'm with you.
You're going old. You're going old right now.
You got nothing but youth. You got nothing but youth.
You got nothing but youth when you got old. You got Rondo, you got Bron.
Kuzma, Ingram, and Lonzo Ball have a grand sum total of about 45 years on the planet.
And guess what? They're about to trade two or three of them guys.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not going to trade Kuzma.
They're working on it right now.
They're not going to
they might trade Kuzma. They don't want to trade Ingram either. They got to trade somebody.
They're not going to trade Kuzma or Ingram. If anybody goes, it's Lonzo. Matter of fact, we got a call that wants to ask a question about that.
What up, fellas? Now that LeBron is officially a Laker, can we definitively say that he's not going to win a ring ever again? Also, what is the over-under for how soon LeVar and Lonzo Ball are going to be shipped out of town and replaced by somebody like J.R. Smith, probably?
Well, that's a caller, and anybody who wants to call in, you can feel free to call into the podcast. The area code is 424-254-9663. Call on in. Let us know what you think. We'll play your message on the phone just like we did, and then we'll respond to it. What's it take? Is LeVar and Lonzo on a crash course for the LAX terminal to get out of town? Because the big show has actually arrived.
They're going back overseas. They're going to the international tournament.
They're going Tom Bradley.
Now that he had that knee that tore meniscus, now you kind of wonder if he's durable enough.
He's too skinny, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's supposed to bulk up a little bit.
Say that. Yeah, it's real quick to say that. He's got a long time to blossom, but I kind of wonder. Like I said, Rondo is a good enough placeholder for now, man. I look back to how when he was on Chicago and was dismantling the top-seeded Celtics that year.
Destroying them.
But how many years ago was that?
They would have won. They would have won that. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was just 2 years ago.
If he didn't break his thumb.
I agree. And last year, he biggity-bished the Bam Bam, or year before this, whenever that was, with Sacramento, with Boogie. Oh.
Yeah, him and Boogie are fixtures. That's why they thought that he might be on his way out.
Oh, because they thought Boogie was going to dip and he was going to dip.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Either way it goes, appreciate your input. Tipper, we can say that your handle, we tweeted your post the other night. People can find it on @OmarMiller. It's Do It For The Tipper. And DC Slider, you got a handle for people can find you or no?
Yeah, y'all can catch me on the mean streets of Maryland. Maybe DC here and there.
Oh, man. All right. Well, good wrap, fellas. I'll wrap with you guys soon.
Peace.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely time on the Ozone.
Yeah, I like Rondo. I just don't feel like he's the piece that fits here because if they're talking about, Boogie's attitude, Ray John Rondo's attitude is supposed to be worse than Boogie's. You know?
Yeah, I just met him the other night in Miami, as a matter of fact.
Ray John.
And his attitude was fantastic with me. He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he seemed like he's a cool dude to hang out with, but you know how guys change when they get on the court.
Of
And
course,
I'm not mad at him because he likes to win.
He likes to win.
And so how are you going to be mad at that?
Yep, and he's in that generational gap where it's not cool
Acceptable to join the enemy.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting, but wow, basketball is taking over the headlines, and it's just like how the NFL has done. DC Slide made a great point. They're making it an event. I mean, the offseason is an event.
Right.
We're 3 months out from even seeing any hoops.
It's just great marketing.
Great marketing.
I mean, and NFL is going completely the opposite way.
They sure are. They're going the opposite direction.
Yeah, and baseball needs to catch up with that as well because they need to be relevant year-round, not just because it's 162 games, but because people want to be interested or engaged in it.
Because in the new world of media, everything has to be year-round.
Right.
24-hour media cycle is very real. And in that, it's time to speak about the game so fine it's played on diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Major League Baseball season is taking shape, and we are at about the halfway point. The All-Star Game is coming up in a couple weeks, which is shortly after the halfway point. And I feel pretty good about my pick, to be honest. I told everybody I think the Cubs are coming out of the National League this year. I think the Cubs are going back, and I like what they're doing. I would like to see the Cubs get one more pitcher if they're going to be really serious.
The Cubs need 2 more pitchers.
Yeah, maybe 2 more pitchers.
Kyle Hendricks is not doing well,
but I believe that he'll get it together.
It's 3-3 right now.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, and then Jose Quintana they gave up the farm for him, which
They
I have
gave
no
up the
idea
farm
why.
for Jose Quintana. They must have really liked his work on the South Side.
Yu Darvish is like on a career-threatening path right now.
Yu Darvish might
with
not be
elbow and
in the
shoulder.
league anymore
Exactly.
after this season.
And so now they're depending on Mike Montgomery and
It's not
going
going
to
to get it done.
Yeah.
John Lester can't get it done.
John
He's
Lester
shown
can get
over
it
and
done.
over again.
But we come to find that one pitcher is really hard to get it done with.
Well, you can't get it done.
Yeah,
if that was the case, the Dodgers would have won the World Series several times.
Yeah, because you got Corey Kluber to try to do it by himself.
Yeah.
And, you just need those complementary pieces that just aren't there for him. They need help. I mean, and they don't have enough pitchers. And I don't think a lot of teams, I don't know how much they have left in the farm system to help them out.
I think they're going to have to get something. Something's going to have to happen. And obviously the big name that everybody is talking about is Monsieur Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Manny Machado is on everybody's radar. There's nobody who doesn't want a Manny Machado in their lineup. He can play third. He prefers to play shortstop. And what he can do is play long ball because this kid swings a stick.
Well, yeah, and what they're saying is that most of the teams that give it up going to have to give it up knowing that he's still going to test free agency.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad at him for testing free agency because
the guy's going to get $300 million.
Yeah, and you're asking him not to take $300. And so now, but they're saying
Achilles!
Yeah.
This is Sparta!
Yeah, and now they're saying that, teams are the Orioles are actually being aggressive, but they don't want to trade him to any team on the East.
In the East, yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, he's going to punish wherever he goes, he's punishing
Big
somebody. He ain't not a player, he just crushed a lot. And
the Arizona Diamondbacks are supposed to be the favorite right now. They're supposed to be really aggressive, which they messed up in the first place because they should have never got rid of J.D. Martinez.
why would they do that?
And now
Why would they do that?
Yeah, now you could have got
Imagine
J.D.
having
Martinez and Manny Machado, but now you went with Steven Souza. And I like Souza, but he's not that caliber player of those guys.
Paul Goldschmidt's off to a bad start.
Yeah, he needs some kind of protection.
I agree.
He was fooling with that lambskin, Jake
Lamb.
Lamb.
Wasn't right. Jake Lamb out there. And but who's the surprise, I would say, of the entire league is
Braves?
The Atlanta Braves. And they're real.
That's what I'm going to say. They just beat the Yankees last night.
They just beat the Yankees, and they came back against the Yankees, which is the hard thing to do.
And I think what they have is that that youth mix with guys like Nick Markakis.
Nick Markakis is really proving his mettle as a player. Freddie Freeman, you knew was a stud.
Yeah.
There was he's been a stud since he came up. He's your number 3 guy.
Nick Markakis is a poor man's stud.
That's a great way to put it.
Because he's always been good, and nobody's ever given him
He's
credit.
always been good, but he's never been great.
And I can't even take him not being great because when you look at his career numbers, you can see that they're all above average.
He's on the trajectory to go to the Hall of Fame.
Really, he is. But nobody ever, he was in Baltimore. Now he's in Atlanta.
It's not flashy. It's never been flashy.
And he just gets it done.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at Nick Markakis because he's giving you great Nick Markakis right now.
He's giving you great Nick Markakis. And the Houston Astros are giving you great Houston Astros.
Even with George Springer not doing it.
And which is impressive because even though they're in first place now after that crazy long streak they went on, They've lost. They've dropped 3 in a row. But it's almost like you can watch them. I watch their games. They are really on the next level.
Yeah.
They're an elite team, and they play with the confidence of an elite team.
And they're in every single game.
They never just get blown. They're in every game. It's always tight. Even if you get them, like last night, the Rays got them. They got them late. Like it was tight. Only thing I can see is you got to get rid of Ken Giles. You get just.
Well, I think that they have so much talent in their farm system that they'll be able to tighten up that bullpen eventually. And they got a bunch of young arms if they decide to bring them up and let them pitch out of the bullpen.
Right. And I think that's critical. I still don't believe in Seattle. I know you won 7 straight. I just don't believe in you, Seattle.
That's like believing in the Angels. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't believe. I just don't believe.
And you get the feeling with the Angels, which is terrible to say, is that they're sort of happy that Ohtani's arm, that he has an elbow problem because now they can just
have him hit.
Yeah, now they can just have him hit.
It's unfortunate.
He's coming back this week to hit.
Yeah, not to pitch.
Yeah, not to pitch. They prefer him as one or the other.
Yeah.
And
they're going to get their way one way or the other.
Yeah.
They tricked him, and now they're going to get their way one way or the other.
That's the way that I take it because
that's the way that it looks.
Yeah.
That's the way that it looks. My team that I love in the American League is still they're trying to find it. Their pitching hasn't come through the way that they should.
Texas Rangers
is the Cleveland Indians.
You're right, Cleveland Astros.
And then
everybody's an Astro.
Exactly. Corey Kluber looks like Corey Kluber, but the rest of the team, Danny Salazar, unfortunately, I think Danny Salazar's career may be over.
Yeah.
Because he just can't. It's too much torque on his arm. He just never was able to get it back together.
And I wonder if that's a result of maybe somebody playing with his mechanics.
You have to wonder about this stuff. Because they do preventative medicine, and it's like a Minority Report where they arrest the guy before he gets hurt, and then all of a sudden he starts getting hurt, and they're like, see? He just
same
had
thing
bad
that's
mechanics.
happening with Darvish,
Same thing's happening with Darvish. Stop messing around with his mechanics. And then
I just literally spoke to a sports medicine doctor, and he just told me that the major problem that all these guys have that come from other countries is that when we get them over here, we automatically want to fix them. And literally, he just told me this last week, and he said that most of the Asian pitchers, they don't like the way that they're fundamentally, their fundamentals of throwing the ball.
They want it to look a certain way.
But he told me that when you work with them and their bodies, they've created muscles in the area to, so it to be comfortable for them
support the way that they pitch.
The way that they pitch. And for some reason, we come over here and we're saying, hey, don't do it like that. Do it like this. Come over the top. You put too much. And next thing you know, the guy's got a bad shoulder, a bad elbow, and he's out the league.
Yeah, and you've wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's basically all that's happened at that point. So, I don't know. I think that all of these guys, everybody, they want the next everything, but they aren't willing to take the chance on that person that has piqued your interest by being themselves to stay themselves. Then we got your namesake on your hat right now. The Boston Red Sox look like the best team in baseball.
Yeah. They lost to the Yankees just this weekend, but
they had a very impressive win over Max Scherzer and the Nationals last night.
Yeah.
And did you see Dave Martinez may have lost Max Scherzer?
Oh, did he? I didn't see it.
Yeah. So we had a situation where there's runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Jackie Bradley's coming up, and Max Scherzer walks somebody. And so Jackie Bradley's coming up. Scherzer turns his back to compose himself and get back on the mound, and Dave Martinez has signaled to intentionally walk Jackie Bradley. When Max Scherzer gives a look into the dugout like, are you crazy? And then, in turn, baseball did what baseball does, and he goes 0-2 on Rick Porcello.
Oh, yeah,
on
Rick
2 dirty
Porcello
sides,
lit him up.
And Rick Porcello lit him up, and that's ended up pretty much sealing the game, even though Mookie Betts added on, doing what Mookie Betts does later on.
But that's shame on Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer's got to get the pitcher out. I mean, that's the bottom line. Rick Porcello probably...
He does have to get the pitcher out.
Rick Porcello hasn't hit probably in I don't know how many years, and you can't expect now that Max Scherzer can't get Rick Porcello out. That's a great, he's making a move.
He made a bold move.
Yeah, it's not even a bold move. You come go and get Rick Porcello. He's not a hitter. He's going against the best pitcher in baseball.
But Max Scherzer has intentionally walked 3 people like over the last 10 years. Right. And he didn't
so that means he should have been able to get out.
And he didn't feel, well, in his mind, what he's saying is I can get out Jackie Bradley. Exactly. I can get out Mookie Betts. Whoever's coming up there right now, I can get him out is what he's saying.
But obviously he couldn't because
didn't work out.
Rick Porcello touched him up.
Didn't work out. It's I don't know. I think there was a mind angle there. It was a mind freak. Chris Angel showed up.
Yeah, but you know what? Max Scherzer is tougher than that. He's got to get tougher than that. Even though you don't like it, it's a good strategy. You put yourself in that situation. This is about being accountable, and he wasn't accountable. He got dug.
There you go. Then you got the Yanks. I think that same caller had a call about the Yankees. He's fired up and ready to go.
What up, fellas? I just want to know what your thoughts are on Brian Cashman saying that he will not trade Gleyber Torres at any point in time, and that he is untouchable for trades. Looking forward to hearing from you. Bye. I got a question for you. After last night's disastrous performance, should David Price ever pitch against the Yankees again?
Well, I don't blame Cashman for saying that that Torres is off limits. He's been very impressive thus far, as have all of the young guys. Soto out in Washington, Acuna out in Atlanta.
Hakuna Matata.
The young guys are coming through banging.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, he said ever.
That's a lot.
That's a long time. Somebody, now what if the Mets come and say to you, we'll give you Jake DeGrom and Noah Syndergaard for Gleyber?
They'll never say that.
But
They'll never say that. You're saying you're going on a crazy hypothetical.
No, that's not a crazy hypothetical because the Mets are actually in the market to get rid of both of those
they'll
guys.
never give both of those guys up for. Come on, man. You always go too far.
You're saying ever. You're saying ever. You don't get to choose what I'm going to say.
Semantics. You know what he means.
No, I don't.
And
I'm taking him for his word.
Basically, what you're saying is you disagree with Cashman saying ever.
Yes.
All right. That's all you had to say.
No,
Instead of
I
trying
had
to be.
I had to build it out for you.
Trying to be a yerk. This guy. And David Price just doesn't, he can't get it done against the Yankees, plain and simple. And you just have to wonder if he can get it done, period, in big situations. It's like the lights get bright and David kind of shrinks. He's a 6'5" guy or 6'4" guy that shrinks when the lights come on. But the team is so good that they can still stay in the game. The thing that the Yankees do is they can bury you, and that's what you have to try to avoid. But they can also be buried when you have Sonny Gray who can't figure out the game right now, and I don't know what the answer is. They got to get something more out of Sonny Gray.
Well,
there's no way you could be that great and then just disappear.
Well, he had injuries, of course, and he never really recovered from it, it looks like. But
it seems like he never got to feel the ball back.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that you just have to go out and find some starting pitching. That's the bottom line.
I agree.
And you don't want to give up anything, but you want something back.
And truth be told, you have plenty to give up.
Yeah, that
lineup is still flush without even two of those guys.
And they have one of the best, if not the best, bullpen in baseball. You know, so what you need to do is to get some frontline pitching, and then you get the frontline pitching, and you might be able to walk all the way to the the big dance.
Because Chapman can give you a 2-inning save.
Yeah, and you don't need him to.
You don't need, but I'm saying he can.
Yeah.
They got arms, boy. Them dudes, the Yankees,
and they have
arms. Sticks.
I want to see what they're going to do tonight against Sean Newcomb because Sean Newcomb has been dealing. Has been
one of the best pitchers in baseball. And I'm also interested to see if the Philadelphia Phillies can keep it up because they're still in the hunt. And as long as they got Aaron Nola dealing like the way Aaron Nola's dealing, oh, did you see that Vince Velasquez play? That was crazy.
Oh, between his legs?
No, when he got hit on his arm.
No.
Vince Velasquez took a line drive off a comebacker off of his right arm, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was a bullet, like off of his elbow. He drops the glove, picks the ball up with his left hand, and throws a dart to first base and gets the guy out, then rides around in pain on the ground. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder if he's okay. They said he had a deep bone bruise or something like that from the line drive. But they look good. I think they're still a little ahead of schedule, and I think they could use one more. They could use some more pieces.
Well, the Yankees are trying to get J.A. Happ. And I don't think that he's the answer.
I don't think he's the answer. I think that's an old Yankees move. That's a move from the old Yankees playbook where you get a veteran dude who you overpay for who is actually not the answer.
Yeah, and they have Justice Sheffield actually down there in the minor leagues and let the kid come up and throw.
Can't let him throw.
Yeah, you lost Montgomery, so you bring up another kid. You know, this is what it's about. I don't know what they're saving all these guys for.
I don't either. I also do not believe in the Milwaukee Brewers. You can take that you play that clip whenever they win the World Series, but I don't believe in the Brewers. They've been playing well.
I actually believe in the Brew Crew now because they're letting Jesus Aguilar play, and Jesus Aguilar is a real deal.
Yeah.
He's somebody that's not going to fall apart. You know, because we find that we can't really believe in Brawny like that right now because he's injury prone at this point.
Yeah.
But if you let a guy like Jesus Aguilar and Eric Thames swing the stick, is it Thames or Thames?
I think he's Thames. I think he goes Thames.
Yeah, I mean, they're serious. And Keon Broxton just came up and he's swinging the stick.
Yep. And
with Renzo.
I love Renzo. And Christian.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich is a great hitter and a good defender. I also, when we go out west, I do not believe in Arizona.
I don't believe in the Dodgers.
And the Dodgers, I feel like, have turned the corner to a certain degree, and we're going to see Clayton Kershaw look like Clayton Kershaw for 5 innings the other night, by the way.
Yeah.
He looked like the as advertised Clayton Kershaw.
Well, he never went on a rehab. So
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He's basically getting loose in the
He's getting loose
on the
out
mound
there.
right now.
He has no respect for Major League hitters.
Can you believe that?
That's all. You never even heard of this, folks. If you guys are not major baseball fans, you don't understand how that works. But he has no respect, and so his rehab is in the major leagues.
Right, but now they need another pitcher, and they're looking at They're looking at Fulmer.
I mean,
from Detroit.
I like that. I like that move, and I think Fulmer's actually gamer. So I think that once he gets back into a competitive situation, I think his juices are going to flow.
Yeah, because what you're talking about right now is Rich Hill.
Not going to get it done.
Walker Buehler, who's nice, but
he's just young. He needs some help. And Ross Stripling.
Yeah, and then
losing Hyun-Jin was big.
Yeah, and their sticks are not. I know they put up monster numbers the past few days.
Yeah.
But they haven't been there consistently, and I don't believe in their sticks like that.
I believe in Matt Kemp, just like I have all year. And if anybody who forgot, Matt Kemp was the best player in the world about 5 years ago, and he looks like physically and his game looks like he's right back to where he was.
Right, and Cody Bellinger still has that hole in his swing that they're exploiting. Yeah,
but
Puig is just average.
Wild horse.
He's a wild horse. He's a wild boy.
He's a wild boy.
You got Max Muncy.
I like Muncy a lot.
Muncy.
I like Muncy a lot.
But you got to hold it second. You got to hold it short.
They just refused. Yeah, I had to get rid of Howie Kendrick. Had to get rid of that kid that they traded off for Darvish.
Willie Calhoun.
But I understand. I still am not mad at that one.
Yeah.
Because they went for it. But I never needed to get rid of Howie Kendrick.
And your catcher situation is so suspect.
It's suspect, which actually affects the pitching a lot more than what people give them credit to. I am happy to see Kenley Jansen. Seems like he's got his arm back and his velocity back and the bite and the movement on his pitches back.
Well, one of the problems that I feel like, which I called it early in the season, which I wouldn't be surprised still if the San Francisco Giants, once they get Johnny Cueto back in a couple of weeks, are going to be a problem.
I was just about to say, and that's where I was going. The San Francisco Giants are still hanging out. They're 2.5 games back, and they still – you can even argue that Madison Bumgarner, who's been dealing, hasn't gotten in full form yet. Come by August, you'll have Bumgarner and Cueto at the top of that rotation.
With Evan Longoria coming back.
And you got problems.
You have problems.
You have problems. Them boys are going to be – and it's an even year. You may not want to believe, but they seem to keep making everybody believe.
Because Johnny Cueto, before he went down with an elbow sprain, was the best pitcher in baseball. His ERA is not even 1. He's .68.
The dude was dealing. And not for nothing, as they say in New York, he always deals.
Yes.
This isn't a new thing.
Yeah.
He deals. Yeah. He's one of the best of this generation.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's unfortunate. Yeah. But, so, I mean, that's our baseball wrap-up. I like where things are for right now, and I like where things are going. But it's hard to call. Then we got Wimbledon sparked up.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. But it's been upset city already, 2 days into the tournament.
That's how it is.
That's how it goes.
Your boy Djokovic is on the move, though.
Novak. I like to see Novak back at it. Yeah. Novak looks good.
Andy Murray had to pull out.
Andy Murray is that hip has never been right since last year.
Do you think he'll ever be the same?
Doesn't look like it, because when the big fellas get hurt, and I can tell you myself, it's very difficult to get yourself to come back.
It's always that hip or the knee, right?
Yeah. It just seems like the length of your body has a lot to do with alignment, and then you run into problems, and it is what it is. You have a more powerful short-term burst of greatness, but it's hard to sustain over the long run, which is one of the reasons why LeBron James is so incredible.
Yeah.
Because he's been able to do it. But we got guys that are through. Monfils got through. Zverev is through. Novak is through. Federer is through. Nadal is through. Juan Martín del Potro is through. Stan the Man Wawrinka pulled off a nice upset against world number 6, Gregor Dimitrov, and it was a very, very nice match. I watched that game.
Really?
Stan is tough, man. Stan's a perennial top fiver, and if he can get his body back together, which it looks like he's done, him and Kei Nishikori had injuries around the same time, and they just didn't seem like they were able to get it back together. But Stan is pulling himself back together. I'm rooting for him. On the women's side, there's definitely been some upsets that have been going down. Have you watched any of it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it was the first day, but Sloane Stephens is out. I was just watching Sharapova before I left. I don't know if she won her match or not, but it's I don't know. I think that Serena and Venus, this is one of their, if not their favorite surface, and they're both playing, and Serena looked better. She had an interesting thing that came out in an article where she was talking about how she's tired of getting drug tested more than everybody else.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll read you the quote, because she said that she didn't even know that she was being tested more than everybody else was until she found out about it. And she said she can't understand why in the world that everybody doesn't just get, why everybody doesn't just get the same amount of testing. She doesn't understand. She's all about equality, unfair and unequal drug testing. She says just test everyone equally. They said that, the issue came up as Williams was a result of an incident at Williams' home last month. On June 14th, an unannounced USADA officer arrived at Williams' residence for a drug test at 8:30 a.m. when she wasn't home. Williams' assistant let the officer into her home, and he refused to leave unless she took a drug test. She ultimately did not take the test and later complained to the WTA that she felt she was being unfairly targeted. Williams said during the press conference she was frustrated that she ultimately missed the drug test. And according to USADA, 3 missed drug tests over the course of 12 months results in a doping violation. She said, I'm totally okay with testing and I encourage it. It's just about being equal, not centering one person out.
This is Serena.
This is Serena speaking, Serena Williams.
What's not cool about that is that you have, people who've always insinuated that they're masculine.
Yeah, and there's something being said in that that's completely disrespectful.
Right.
Very disrespectful, that they just can't be better.
Yeah. And do you think it's like a racial overtone?
I think it's an undertone. It's sneaking in there. They're saying it without saying it.
Right.
But that's what they're saying. There's that. And I hope there's nothing left for them to prove. They could do absolutely nothing else, and they go down as the greatest women's tennis players ever.
Right. I just don't agree. I agree with the with the WTA without ranking them up at the top again just because she's had a child. Most of the people are offended that she didn't come back as number 1 still. But that's not fair to the women who had been playing for that year. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Especially since Simona Halep has herself together.
Right.
She's the world number 1. She won Roland Garros, won the French Open, and now she's balling in Wimbledon straight sets. Sharapova has lost again, and so I don't know if she'll ever come back after the situation that happened with her with the drug testing and the doping.
I think that was more of an image thing by them letting her back in there, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, she's competitive. She just isn't, but she's not the same sort of dominant.
What is she ranked?
24th. Yeah, 24th in the world. Gosaka, my sleeper for the year, is moving forward. She's number 18. She won today. So,
What about Stevenson? Sloane.
As I just told you, Sloane Stevens.
I'm sorry, dude. Hey, let me hit
it. She got eliminated. That's what I told you. This has been upset city. It's going down. Maybe you miss it. By the way, Sloane Stevens got eliminated at Wimbledon yesterday. Just yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Vika Azarenka came through. Madison Keys got through. And the thing about Sloane was that she got straight setted. She lost 6-1, 6-3, which was.
What can you do?
What can you do, B? She's hanging out in London. I'm sure she's not bad. Well, you got anything else you want to cover? It's been a long edition of the Ozone, but as usual, King James takes up so much attention. He takes so much air in the room. Going to leave you guys with a Chinese proverb here. And it is, paper cannot wrap up a fire. The truth cannot be concealed. The truth will be out. Keep the truth on your mouth and in your mind. You are in the Ozone, also known as a place and a forum of truth and serenity. I'm your host, Omar Miller. Please, listen longer. This is the Ozone.
Ozone.
I'm just living the dream. I'm in love with the lights.